And remember too, when you do them all back up, you don't want to over tighten them, because these are all done obviously in the factory with machines or electronic control, so that they're not over tight. If you go hell for leather and you tighten them up too much when you put it back together, you can split the plastic if it's a bit brittle. Because cars, especially in Australia in the heat, cars sitting out in the sun all day every day, the plastics do get very brittle and you can end up damaging them, and then you'll end up spending more on a new dash than what the stereo cost.
But don't under tighten them.
That's right, don't under tighten them.
That'd be the guy you'd be driving and the whole radio would fall out.
Undo the aerial plug and the factory harness. We'll also unplug the heater control so that we can actually get it out of the way, and voila. So there we have the stereo harness. That's the harness for the four-wheel drive high and low control, where the dial was, and that one's for your heater control. So all nice and neat. Now the only thing that is a bugger is I don't have the harness to go from that into the new head unit, so I might have to, and I hate doing it, but I might have to actually cut these wires and splice the new wiring onto it, which is not always ideal. You can get a plug that fits in through AeroPro and you can keep your steering wheel control, but that was $200 or something ridiculous, just so you can turn the stereo up from your steering wheel. So I'm not going to worry about that one. But yeah, there you go. So there's the stereo out, made by Clarion, obviously for Suzuki. And what I just noticed I find very interesting, on the back of the heater controls, from that line there down is all your heater controls. That's actually made by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. So there you go, you don't know what you're buying nowadays, guys. So anyway, I'll part the stereo off and we'll grab the new head unit. Alright guys, so I just thought I'd show you this bit as well. Might seem irrelevant, just so you know exactly what's going on. That casing, that steel casing, was on the back of the head unit, and it basically kept the head unit and the heater control section joined together. So I've just undone the 3 screws in each side of that. The whole head unit has, as you can see there, it's come away from the heater section. So I'll put that metal bracket on the new head unit, I would say, and it'll all go back together. So sort of halfway there, I couldn't work out why the stereo wouldn't fit in. That was the original metal carcass, I guess you'd say, that held the original factory unit in, and it went down and obviously screwed onto there like so. But the new stereo, the new head unit, wouldn't fit in with this metal on. I couldn't work out why, so I took that off, and these 2 little side brackets that come with the fascia obviously screw on in place of the metal, and then the new head unit, which is here, it slots down into there, and then with one of the multiple holes on the side goes into the screws on there. So we'll get that fitted up and I'll show you in a sec. Alright guys, so there it is, it's fitted up. It's a tiny bit gappy, as you can see the light through the top of it there. It's a little bit not a perfect fit, I think probably because the stereo itself is not the exact double DIN size that it should be. I know the surround kit says if they don't fit 100%, you can file this down or trim it, but I don't want to start doing too much to it in case you stuff it, then you've got to buy another one. So yeah, it's a little bit gappy, but I can certainly live with that. So we'll get it fitted back up, get a generic plug from that. I think they call it a plug to ISO, so I might be able to get a plug that'll plug onto there, and then it's just got bare wires on this side, and then I can solder the new wires straight onto that in case we ever had to sell the car and you want to put it back to factory. You just unplug it. I'll suss that out. I might jump online and quickly see what those kits are worth and where I can get one, and might just save a bit of splicing and dicing. But yeah, we'll test her out anyway. I'll show what it works like anyway shortly. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut this off, because that factory plug, this is off the original stereo, and that's got obviously positive, got your ground, then it's got all the speakers on there as well, and I don't really want to cut that, because if we ever had to sell the car, then I'd have to put the factory radio back in and then resolder it all. It's a lot of playing about. So what I'm going to do, I had a look online just now, and you can buy a plug to ISO, I think they call it. So it's basically a wiring harness similar to that came with the new radio, but it'll plug straight onto that Suzuki one, like so. And then that allows this to be soldered onto the factory stereo wires. So effectively, that coming out of the new head unit, you solder it on, heat shrink it all, that becomes your new plug, and then if we had to sell the car or for whatever reason take it out and put the factory head unit back in, you simply unplug it, this blue socket back into the head unit, factory stereo back in, and you're done. So it's all right to go. As I said, I ended up working out that it wouldn't work with this steel harness, so I've put the two little side brackets on. It's holding the stereo. It is a tiny bit gappy around there, but I'm not going to worry. I'll plug these back in here, so at least we keep everything working until we get the new unit. So I'll plug that back in, and then that hooks on there like so. Like that. Alright, we'll screw that back on. So we get all our screws back out. Screw these back on, and it's a bit like wheel nuts. Don't ever tighten them one up before you've put them all in. Otherwise, if it's a bit out of alignment, it's all going to sit sideways. So you put them all in. And you can see there I haven't done that right up. Now, make sure it's all in line. And a bit like wheel nuts, tighten from one side to the other and sort of go crisscross pattern. At least that way it pulls it all in nice and square. So what I'll do, once the plug arrives, I'll order one. I'll see if they've got one at Autobarn or somewhere like that so I can pick it up a bit quicker. But if they don't, or it's ridiculously dearer, I might just grab one online. But in the meantime, I'll leave the stereo not connected, and it'll only be a week or so to get the part that we need. And then I'll just undo these screws and yeah, plug it all back in. That's basically it. And then these trims go back on. I'll fix it after. These go back on from the top down, I think. Oh, you gotta love plastic. Put that one back on there. Oh, and that's the other thing too, because I've obviously got to plug the reverse camera back in as well, which I'll do once I've got the wiring harness. So that is job done, folks. So there's the stereo in. Once it's wired up, I'll flick it on and show you how it all works, and we'll go from there. So anyway, and I'll do a bit of a demo on what the head unit does and how good the camera and all works. So itself, I might do that as a part 3. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and just remember our motto, #StressLessCampMore. Cheers, guys.